I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Bowling Green Board of Commissioners for July 6, 2019, and I'd like to introduce a special guest tonight. We have the pastor of First Baptist Church in Richmond, Kentucky, who also happens to serve as mayor of that community. We are in a mayor-to-mayor program with the Kentucky League of Cities, and Mayor Robert Blythe is here with us tonight. I invite you to stand as he leads us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in prayer. Dear God, our Father, we are grateful for this precious privilege we have to come together to acknowledge that you are our God, to praise you for your greatness, thank you for your kindness, and to ask you, O God, to guide us as we deliberate in this meeting. We find ourselves resorting to the thinking of Solomon, who simply asked for a wise and understanding heart, that he might properly handle those matters that involved your people. We ask the same. We thank you for safe travel that has brought us here this evening, and for the welcome and its warmth, for the fellowship we've shared even thus far, even as we've arrived. We pray now that you'll give us strength and give us direction. We must, oh God, always pause to acknowledge that we realize that there are those things that are taking place around us in people's lives that are less than desirable and perhaps at times even tragic. We pray for all of those who are affected by these things and pray that you'll give each one of us something to do or to say that will cause life to be made better for those who are in the midst and the throes of desperation. Thank you for being so kind and so good to us. Thank you above all for looking at our human dilemma and providing us, oh God, with a way to restore relationship and fellowship with you. Thank you above all for saving us through Jesus Christ, in whose name we pray. Amen. If you'll join me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Wilkerson. Let me I was discussing with Brother Denning that tonight I was going to be a bad Baptist. A good Baptist will fight you for the back row. But I said, I'm going to be a bad Baptist tonight and sit way down front. Thank you for the opportunity just to greet you on behalf of the city of Richmond. And that's my hometown for all of my life. Don't plan to go anywhere else. I'm getting a little older now, so I think I'll just stay there while I'm there. The people of Richmond blessed me and honored me on last year, electing me to serve as mayor. I had served as commissioner for 16 years, and I thought, well, you ought to just go to the House. And I thought, well, not before you share something with some of these young fellows who are coming in, so to share with them of my experience and my love for the city of Richmond. Your mayor and I have the privilege, I consider it a privilege, to be a part of the Kentucky League of Cities Mayor-to-Mayor program. Your mayor came, spent an afternoon with me and us, and we had a great time just talking. Didn't solve anybody's problems, didn't bring up business, just talking. And I appreciated the opportunity to share with him in that way. You might want to know, if you don't already, that when the city of Richmond looks for a benchmark or some standard by which we can do or determine some things, somehow Bowling Green always comes up, even with our former mayors, Jim Barnes and Connie Lawson. Always we refer to the wonderful work that's taking place in the city of Bowling Green. So thank you for your welcome and again for the fellowship we've already shared. One final thing, young lady who keeps me in line, our city clerk is also the mayor's secretary, Lisa Cassidy. She sends her greetings to the city clerk here, and she also sent me with what's in these bags here. Now, I could not help but laughing on the way down. Beware of strangers bearing gifts. I thought, Robert, but this is a good thing. It's a good thing. Hopefully they won't look at you with suspicion because you're a stranger bearing gifts. I'm happy to be here. God bless you and keep you in the work that you are assigned to do. And may the people of Bowling Green know that what you do is a blessing to them. Thank you so much for that opportunity, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you being here. All right, please call the roll.
Here.
Commissioner Nash.
Here.
Commissioner Perigin.
Here.
Commissioner Beasley Brown.
Here.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Here. We have some awards and recognitions tonight, and I presume that Mr. Mizel, you'll lead us off with those.
We have an award we're going to give, and I'd like to ask Kim Lancaster to step up.
I actually have two separate little presentations here. I will keep both of them relatively short. The first one is we have done our third annual We Are Bowling Green photo contest. We started that in in May of this year, and we solicited photographs from the residents and folks who live in and around the Bowling Green area. And our request is the same as always. We want people to send in photographs that what they believe represents Bowling Green, whether that's people, places, animals, things. It can be anything they want. We received, I believe, over 60 entries this year, which was great. And we always do 3 judges' choice, a first, second, and third. And then we do a viewer's choice or a people's choice where we provide all of the options out there on social media, and we let people vote. And we had, I believe it was 626 votes this year for our viewer's choice, so that was really great. I believe we had 3 people that were going to be here tonight, but I only see one in the audience. But our photographs are over here to your left. If you look at the furthest one, the closest down to here, City Manager Mizel, we have Fall in Kentucky. That was our 3rd place winner this year for our judges' choice, and that was from Ella P's Photography, and I don't know if Ella's here. I don't believe she is. Our 2nd place winner is the sunset there. It's a Shanty sunset that was taken out at Shanty Hollow, and that was by Sean Jones. And then our 1st place winner is WKU Columns, and that is Steve Bailey. And Steve Bailey is here with us tonight. If you would like to step up here, I've got a certificate and a gift certificate for you. And then our last photograph up here is called Backyard Tafiti, and that was done by Ariel Brandon, and that was the one that received 626 votes from our People's Choice Awards. She received 90 votes for hers, which was 14.83% of the votes. And Ariel is not here, but I am going to give everyone, I will mail everyone their certificates and their gift certificates and thank them for participating.
Thank you. That was a great opportunity. Wonderful photos. That one, the People's Choice is kind of interesting.
It's not a hand, it's actually just part of a tree that looks like a hand.
Yeah.
And as in years past, we will use these photos to populate our annual report and calendar, as well as in our city buildings. We have so many of the previous year's photographs in the annex, in City Hall, in various buildings, and so it's been a great benefit to be able to use these awesome photos in and throughout our city. Thank you.
The next item is we started an employee spotlight program this year, and Kim headed that up and worked with several others to take nominations for employees that seem to just kind of stick out and spotlight them and all the good stuff that they're doing in their jobs. And I'd like Kim to go ahead and present that award.
In years past, we've done various programs. We've done a Star Award and different things, and we kind of thought it was time to recognize our employees again. And I think one of the best ways to do that is by letting their peers nominate them. So in January of this year, we put out a call to all of our city employees and said, do you know someone who excels? It might be personally, they might volunteer their time. It might be at work. It might be customer service. We kind of opened it up to any way that you know a fellow employee who goes above and beyond, who's outstanding in what they do. We requested nominations, and we gave from January to June 15th. We're hoping to do this 4 times a year. In the end, we received 13 really excellent nominations. We had a panel of 5 folks judge these, and it was very clear that we wanted everyone to win. There were such good nominations. But in the end, it was pretty unanimous that Courtney Howell of Public Works was going to be our first Spotlight Employee recipient. And Courtney is here today, and I want to read just a couple of things about Courtney, about her, and then about what some of the folks said about Courtney when they nominated her, because she actually received more than one nomination, and she received it from different departments, from departments that she's not even a part of. So she clearly stands out. Courtney was raised on a wooded, river-wrapped, 950-plus acre farm in North Warren County. She has one sister, and she is her father's son. Her mom is her best friend. Mark is Courtney's husband of 11 years, and they have a 9-year-old son, Levi. Courtney was blessed to be able to stay home with Levi for the first 6 years, and she has worked as an office associate for the city of Bowling Green for going on 4 years in October. She enjoys spending time with her extended family every chance she gets, and she loves the people she works with and loves working for the city. Her happy place will always be on a dirt path surrounded by trees. The city is so fortunate to have someone like Courtney, and these are a few quotes from her nominations. Courtney always brings her A game to every task. She is always getting involved in environmentally friendly events and walking the walk of what she communicates to others via her works for the city. Court absolutely blows all expectations away. Courtney is informative and helpful, the very model of what citizens expect from our staff. It is clear that she loves this community and loves to be a part of making it better. And so we would like to say, Courtney, if you'll come up here and get your certificate. Thank you so much for your work for the city and for being the first recipient of this award. I do want to say briefly before you all kick me out of here, our other nominees, and let me tell you, they were all excellent nominees. Anna Maroney-Jones from Parks and Recreation, Brandon Piercy with Parks and Recreation, Denise Gilland with Public Works Fleet Division, Gabe Nealon with Parks and Recreation, Jakia Patterson with Parks and Recreation, Joe Harbin from Fire, Marilyn Perigin from our Finance Department, Melanie Shy also with Public Works, Melissa Pesterfield with Parks and Recreation, and Mike Long with Parks and Recreation. So they were all just such great nominees, and I think everybody who took a part in judging them had a very hard time picking a winner from this group. So, thank you all.
Thank you for starting up the program. That's great opportunity to showcase our people. Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Now, what are we gonna do after today? Is her picture gonna be put over in the engineering office?
What we've got for each person who receives the employee spotlight, they are going to get a spotlight in our newsletter that is internal. We will send out an email to all users letting them know who won and giving some more information about Courtney. She will be, we have a little spotlight going out on her on Twitter and Facebook and social media. And then each winner gets to go and have a coffee with the city manager and mayor. And so they can bring a guest with them and just have a little sit down and enjoy a chat. So that's kind of the recognition that each person will get as we have winners throughout this.
I'm still asking if a picture is gonna be put on the wall over in the engineering office in the hallway of this individual and other individuals that receive
they win?
that nomination. or
We can
win.
do that.
I
We
think
can make that happen.
I think we should.
All right. We can do that. We can get some kind of a plaque or a photograph system of winners and or nominees.
Photograph.
Yes, I can take care of it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Courtney, I have to tell you that your family was so excited that I heard even before the agenda came out that you were the recipient. So we're all proud of you and congratulations.
Yeah, enjoy that coffee with Jeff and the mayor.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Winner,
I mean,
winner.
Oh, big time.
Or tea or Popworks.
Oh, man. Big time.
Buckle your seatbelt for Mr. Excitement over here and his sidekick, Jeff. I mean, good grief.
It'll be something you'll remember, I can tell you that. Yes, sir. They'll
Now,
go down
see why
there.
it's important to keep a low profile? Now you got it all cranked up, but, I'm sorry.
Go
Thank you.
down in history books.
Okay, I have one more, last but not least, and that is our reaccreditation of our Public Works Department. And I'd like to ask Greg, he has a special guest here. Greg, do you want to come up and introduce?
Absolutely. We're pleased today to have Mr. Bo Mills with us. Bo is the recent past president of the National APWA Association. He's done a lot of traveling, I think, last year, and Canada, New Zealand. He's been all over the place, spreading the word about APWA and what it means to have a professional staff. So we're pleased that he traveled up here today from near Memphis, so about a 5-hour trip, just to present this to us. So we feel honored to have Mr. Mills here, and at this point, I'd like to ask him to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Director. I regret that on my way up, I passed through some heavy rain, so I towed some of it with me. You guys should be getting some of it tonight as it comes forward. But it is my pleasure to be here, and congratulations to you folks for your reaccreditation. What a great honor it is for your public works. Mayor Wilkerson and Commissioners, I thank you for giving me a few minutes here tonight. Germantown, Tennessee is a suburb of Memphis, so I did come right up the alley that the rain will come, so it should be on its way. Congratulations to you for this accreditation. It's a mark of professionalism indicating a public works agency has made a commitment to continuous improvement and the delivery of public works operations and services to the community it serves. I had a chance today to kind of tour around your community, very impressed. I'm a public works director, so I notice things. Your city is very clean, it's very well kept, and you're investing back into it with your street program that you're doing. So congratulations, Mayor and Commissioners, you're doing the right things. This reaccreditation today is proof that Bowling Green's Public Works Department is well managed, able to demonstrate compliance with the recommended practices, and dedicated to continuous improvements in public works facilities and service. Your department was initially accredited in 2007. For the agency's reaccreditation review to this time, APWA sent a team over. There was a person from Union Township, Ohio, from Maryland Heights, Missouri, and Kansas City, Missouri, that came over and reviewed your department. APWA Accreditation Council awarded full accreditation to your Public Works Department on the 28th day of May of this year. For the purpose of the reaccreditation, a random review of applicable practices is performed by the evaluation team. They looked at 134 of your department's practices, and all, I say again, all received full compliance. It's an outstanding record for your Director, Meredith, and Accreditation Manager, Laura Brown, and your entire staff in your Public Works Department, and they are to be commended for their efforts. Accreditation is a program of continuous improvement and designated for a 4-year stint. So this will expire, and so we hope to see you folks again in April or so of 2022. It will expire, and then you'll be able to reapply again as your agency looks for another 4-year extension. I do have to say that this agency remains the only agency in Kentucky that is accredited, the only public works agency in Kentucky that's accredited. That's quite an accomplishment. So therefore, on behalf of the American Public Works Association and as its past president and its board of directors, it is my pleasure to award the formal accreditation plaque to the City of Bowling Green's Public Works Department for their accomplishments. I'll ask the director to come forward, and Ms. Brown, come on up. Congratulations, congratulations to both of you. Thank you for your work. Here's the plaque.
Laura, come on, get in the middle here. Who's taking the picture? Come on up here.
I'll take pictures.
There you go, right there.
Is that picture gonna hang on the wall too? Huh? Hey, grandkids and grandkids will want to see that sometime, you know. We just can't think of it today.
Mr. Wills, thank you so much for coming tonight and making that presentation. We appreciate it, and congratulations to Public Works. And I got to particularly pick out Miss Laura back there, who leads the charge in accreditation and is herself a national accreditor or an evaluator when she goes around to other communities. So thank you for the effort that you put into this, because it shows that, you know, we're not perfect, but we always strive to be the best we can and meet national standards. So thank you again. Thank you again for coming up. Any other awards or recognitions? You have any comments tonight, sir?
I do, Mayor. I need to withdraw item number 3, Municipal Order 2019-116. It's just not completely finished at this point. That was per request of Georgia Pacific and the Chamber, so we'll skip that item when it comes.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
Approval of minutes for a regular meeting on July 2nd, 2019.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Perigin, second by Nash. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. Municipal Order 2019-114.
Municipal order approving the reappointments of Greg Almond, Michael Coleman, Lisa Cook, and Sabina Huzik to the Human Rights Commission.
Second.
Motion by Nash, second by Perigin. This is a reaccreditation for each of them who have served our Human Rights Commission well. Four of the 13 are up for renewal this time. Any comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. Municipal Order 2019-115.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2019-66 for the Glen Lily Landfill passive gas vent repairs from Advance One Development LLC of Charlotte, North Carolina, in the amount of $55,000.
So moved.
Second?
Perigin, second by Nash. Mr. Mizel.
You all know we have the responsibility for maintaining our landfills, and Glen Lily landfill is in need of some work. We have before you tonight, we have purchase of vents and installation of those to relieve the pressure beneath the surface of the liner to release the gases that are created by the composition of the refuse there. And so we went out for bid. We got 4 bids, and low bid was from Advance One Development, and we are recommending that low bid for $55,000. Matt Powell is here to answer any questions you might have about this item.
Comments or questions?
We're gonna have to watch that one forever.
Much.
Yes, sir. To our knowledge, we'll continue to care for Glen Lily Landfill, Hobson Grove, Butler County Landfill, and Old Louisville Road Landfill for the foreseeable future. There are mechanisms by which that ownership could be transferred to another party, but responsibilities for the waste that's interred would also have to be transferred along with it, and the odds of us finding a party that's willing to accept it seem slim.
All 4 of them are closed.
All 4 are closed,
Yeah.
yes, and have been since before June of 1992.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. Moving next, item 4, which is Municipal Order 2019-117.
Municipal order approving fiscal year 2020 sidewalk project locations, including design and survey, and authorizing the city law department to negotiate the purchase of properties necessary for these projects, and further authorizing appropriate city officials to execute deeds, easements, and other documents related to land purchases necessary for the projects.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Perigin, second by Denning.
At the last meeting, we had the work session on the presentation of this FY20 sidewalk program. We are proposing 5 sections of sidewalk work here on Loving Way, 2 sections on Holly Drive, a section on North Lee Drive, and a section on Highland Way. There was some discussion about the Highland Way sidewalk, and it was determined that the best route would be to move that to the other side of the street. So that's part of the plan here for FY20, as was kind of kicked around last meeting. we need your green light, your go-ahead to get going on property acquisition and let Public Works enter into the formal negotiations of those acquisitions and start design. So if you have any questions, Greg Meredith is here. We recommend your approval.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. Municipal Order 2019-118.
Municipal order approving an amendment to the Job Development Incentive Program Employees Withholdings Credit Agreement with AEP Industries Incorporated to change the company name to Berry Global Films LLC.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by Perigin, second by Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
This item was a job development incentive that was approved back in 2014 to AEP Industries. They have undergone a name change and a merger to Berry Global Films LLC. They have requested that we amend the agreement to be with Berry Global Films LLC, which is formerly AEP Industries. So this is mainly a cleanup item on a job development incentive agreement. If you have any detailed questions, Katie has been working on this one, can answer your questions.
Comments or questions? Call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. Second reading of ordinance BG 2019-32.
Ordinance amending Code of Ordinances. Ordinance amending Chapter 23 Water and Sewer, Subchapter 23-3 Sewer System of the City of Bowling Green Code of Ordinances as proposed by Bowling Green Municipal Utilities.
Second.
Motion by Nash, second by Perigin. This is second reading of the ordinance that we discussed at the last meeting that brings us into compliance with our new 5-year plan between BGMU and the State Division of Water and EPA. Are there any further comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. Second reading of ordinance BG 2019-33.
Ordinance rezoning real estate. Ordinance rezoning a tract of land containing 26.95 acres from AG Agriculture to PUD Planned Unit Development located at 4031 Old Scottsville Road, presently owned by the Club at Old Stone LLC, care of James Scott.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Perigin, second by Denning. This is second reading of a unanimous recommendation from Planning and Zoning for that rezoning. Are there any further comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. We had a request for a late file, so we need to have a motion to accept Municipal Order 2019-119 to be added to the agenda.
So moved.
Motion
Second.
by Nash, second by Denning. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Yes. Now Municipal Order 2019-119 for consideration.
Municipal order prohibiting the connection of Sterling Way to the Spring Lake subdivision on Three Springs Road.
So moved.
Motion by Perigin, second by Nash. Mr. Nash.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to begin with that I was a little unsure how to do late files because I don't recall ever doing one, and I'm generally opposed to them, kind of on philosophical reasons, but I don't ever want my philosophy to get in the way of common sense. And so tonight, I have asked for this late file agenda item as it relates to Sterling Way and the Spring Lake subdivision, and I forgot the name of the other subdivision, Silver Springs subdivision, as they butt together. This item was brought to all of our attention, I believe, by you, Mayor Wilkerson, and in digging into it, visiting the site, reading the documents that were presented, talking with some residents who live in the Silver Springs subdivision, I think it is in the city's best interest to prohibit the connection of Silver Springs subdivision to the proposed Spring Lake subdivision. I have spoken with Ben from Planning and Zoning. I've spoken with Gene, our own city attorney, to make sure that we're on legal ground to be able to do this, and I believe that we are. And so I would entertain any questions, but I would ask for approval of this matter this evening. The reason that it was done on a late file is that time got away from me, and I did not realize that this item was going before planning and zoning on Thursday. Before planning and zoning again on Thursday. I thought if this body had already made a decision related to what we wanted to do, the common sense aspect, trumps the philosophical aspect, in that there is no reason to allow the parties to continue to work on something if we've already made a decision different than what they would be working on. So I would ask for approval of this item.
Questions?
I would love to hear maybe from planning and zoning about, because there was a question about if we can do this in relation to the comprehensive plan and our city ordinances, and just sort of getting an understanding from you about what this is in terms of the process that we normally go through.
So, without getting into a long history of this property, but approximately, I don't know, it's probably been close to 2 years now, the rezoning has been in question before in the court system. Went through the process, went in the court system, and there is laws on the books that do not allow us to start another zoning case, another application, when one is already in the works and has not been fully adjudicated, to use that term, so still in the court system. But in order to try to help move things along, we can agree to take a new rezoning application as long as it settles the old one. And that is what was discussed and brought to us, which we agreed to do if it in fact settled it. I think we got maybe a little sideways on some communication, but long story short, I think that culminated to the request tonight would be to the city would pass an ordinance or in effect a law that would supersede the subdivision regulations, which would then clear that path for the planning commission, then make to be able to consider an application that prohibits that connection to Sterling Way.
And does the existing neighborhood have sidewalks, or do they not?
I believe they do.
Okay. And the existing subdivision is in the county, but then the new one is in the city, is that right?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
New one will be required to have sidewalk. Yeah.
Is there affordable housing, right? Did I hear that?
Depends on your definition.
Well-
But yes, I think they're designed to be more in the affordable range, but how much more, sometimes they don't set the market price till after they're constructed.
Single-family homes.
Single-family detached homes, yes. The change from previous was for multifamily up to, I don't remember, it's 4 or 8-plex, but that was the previous request.
I just remembered I had another question. Was this the one that also had to do with flooding in someone's basement in an adjacent property? Or is that a different development?
Half of them.
Oh, well, so then is
there was some flooding concerns expressed on this one. There was some significant flooding going through a neighborhood, but I don't really remember whether there were specifics about flooding in a basement or not. I know there was some on a different one that was in a county, but it's possible on this one.
And
but I
so
don't-
those engineering issues around flooding seem to also have been figured out.
That I cannot speak to yet now.
You guys will be making
That
sure
will
that that
come
happens
through. Yep,
Thursday?
that'll come
Okay.
through. Well, Thursday would just be another rezoning public hearing. So at the rezoning, you don't always have the final engineering done because that's a bigger step, a lot more expensive. So that will be done through the site development plan process, which they are currently simultaneously doing. So they may have some questions on that, but ultimately, yes, they will have to address that. I guess the basic rule is they can't make anything any worse than it already is. Now, most of the time, developers will come and try to make things better if they can, but they're only responsible for the water that is going through their property and that their property generates. So they can't make somebody else's problem worse.
Yeah, how many ingress do they have now? They already have two, I believe, don't they? And they all,
Silver Spring currently just has one, and then Spring Lake if you pass this, we'll just have one.
both come out on Three Springs.
Correct.
Okay.
Questions or comments? Anything else to add, Mr. Nash?
I do not.
Please call the roll.
Denning.
Yes.
Nash.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Wilkerson.
Last item on our agenda, Robbie, I don't believe anybody signed up on that clipboard behind you, did they, to speak? So there are no public comments tonight, so our next scheduled meeting is August 6, 2019. Thank you for
Wes,
tuning in.
you got something? Oh, you pointing, Greg.